Doctors and random Doctor Who fans, and welcome to a sort of mini Doctor Who week, as over the next 4 days I will be looking at the 4 re-released Sonic Screwdriver toys: the 4th Doctor Sonic, the 10th, River Song's Future Sonic, and the 3rd Doctor Sonic Screwdriver, which I will be reviewing today. And here it is in its packaging, which is very compact and rectangular, sort of like the same sort of packaging that electric toothbrushes come in. At the top we have the 3rd Doctor's Doctor Who logo, which has become associated with the classic series overall, and inside you can see a black and white pattern from the opening titles of that era. At the bottom there's a picture of John Pertwee with 3rd Doctor written beside it, and his tenure as the Doctor was from 1970 to 1974. Below this we have Electronic with a little lightning bolt symbol above it, and 3rd Doctor Sonic Screwdriver written underneath. And the toy does include sound effects. The toy is displayed well thanks to this large rectangular window which shows off the screwdriver from a few angles. Again we have Electronic written up one side and Collect Them All is written on the other. On the back of the packaging we again get that Doctor Who logo and an image of all 4 of the re-released Sonics, and just above them is a little silver diamond panel which states that the 10th Doctor and River Song's Future Sonic Screwdrivers feature light and sound effects. Happy days. Below we get the usual legal phlebotomy, and nothing special, so that pretty much does it for the box. Let's open it up and take a look at the Sonic itself. So, here we go, and as you can see it bears a striking resemblance to the actual 1970s prop. At the top we have the head, which is a circle of red plastic containing the silver bullet-shaped emitter. I like how there's detailing of bolts around the outside of the circular section as though it's holding the emitter in place. Unfortunately, the head is made from a soft rubber, and this version's neck was bent into a weird angle when it was in its packaging, which is somewhat annoying. Moving down to the collar, it's been given a coat of this glossy silver paint which makes it look like metal and sets it off nicely. Unfortunately, as the spring-loaded collar rests on the bottom of the head, some paint has worn off onto the base of that red circular section. There's a red trim added to the top, and below it we get this yellow sticker with a black line drawn around it at an angle, which, when rotated, gives the impression of a turning screw. Kind of looks like one of those weird signs they used to have outside of barber shops, doesn't it? Or am I showing my age here? The lower half of the collar is just silver with some black rings moulded into the plastic, while the base contains some more detailing with various lines and indents, along with a very small battery compartment which, while I do hate battery compartments, is understated enough to overlook. We also have a wavy black line cut into the plastic, along with a glossy thick black ring around the base. The base includes this strange angled section here with what looks to be a black bolt in the centre, while on the bottom there's a small series of speaker holes and a mountain of horrible looking legal guff. So for detail, it matches the prop and looks great, despite some of its obvious flaws. Taking a look at features, to activate the Sonic Screwdriver sound effects, you pull the collar section down, whereupon the screwdriver will begin to emit one of 2 sound effects: a low-pitched, slow buzz, or a faster, higher-pitched buzz. As the collar is spring-loaded, when released it will flick up again and the sound effects will stop. Now, this is a great feature and comes directly from the show, and the sound effect is nice and loud due to the speaker holes being positioned at the bottom and therefore aren't blocked off or covered. But there is just one tiny issue. This is the wrong sound effect! If you listen closely, you can hear that the noise the screwdriver emits is clearly from the 9th and 10th Doctor Sonic screwdrivers. Now, this toy did have the same issue when it was originally released a few years ago. It was as though Character had just used some of their 9th and 10th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver sound chips in order to save time and money. But it's the 50th anniversary year. I would have expected this toy to at least have included some screen-accurate sound effect samples from the show, but unfortunately this isn't the case. Fortunately, however, I was very pleased to find out that the screwdriver does come with demonstration batteries already installed, something which isn't mentioned on the packaging, yet can be a big selling point of toys these days. Doing a size comparison, the 3rd Doctor Sonic is the same length as the 4th Doctor screwdriver and the Master's laser screwdriver when it's closed. It's much bigger than the 10th Doctor's and the Future Sonic screwdrivers and towers over the tiny Sarah Jane Adventure Sonic lipstick, but they're all dwarfed by the colossal 11th Doctor Sonic screwdriver in closed mode. So overall, what do I think of this toy? Well, it's a nice idea that character options are giving Doctor Who fans another chance to own one of the classic sonic screwdriver toys without having to pay a fortune for them on such sites as eBay, as they're so rare now. The third Doctor sonic screwdriver is a wacky design straight from the 1970s, and it's been well recreated here. It's a similar size, the paint apps for the most part are great, and the attention to detail is very good. Unfortunately, the soft rubber head and the worn-off paint mark it down somewhat in my books, and it would have been nice if the toy had included an accessory, as its original release included a little lenticular image of the Third Doctor's opening titles. But the inclusion of batteries, which have already been installed, is a big plus. However, I guess the continued use by character of the wrong sound effect can be very irritating to the major Doctor Who fanboys. Even the inclusion of some screen-accurate sound effects lifted directly from the audio of one of the serials would have been enough. I remember watching a repeat of The Sea Devils on BBC Two when I was 10 years old, and the scene where the Doctor used his screwdriver to detonate some landmines to scare off a sea devil blew my mind. I immediately went outside and picked up a stick and reenacted that scene. So, if you're just as obsessed with sonic screwdrivers as I am, I would definitely recommend picking this up. It may have its faults, but hey, it's better than waving an old stick around. At $9.99, it's an excellent price. The packaging is very small, but shows off the toy well, and won't take up too much space when on display if you're a collector. And with Father's Day coming up this weekend in the UK, it makes for a great little novelty gift for those dads who grew up watching the show during the early 70s. So that does it for this review. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, there are countless more reviews online. Thank you again for watching. Remember to keep following the nerd and stay tuned for another Doctor Who review, as tomorrow I'll be looking at the fourth Doctor Sonic Screwdriver re-release. I'll see you then. Bye bye.